Hey guys. Oh, hey guys. I'll just admit right off the bat, I'm a liberal. Here out of
Thanks for being
morbid
here.
Welcome, thank
curiosity
you.
than anything. I was like,
Very cool for you to sit through
oh
this.
my god, yeah. So I was gonna ask about immigration, but since you guys just brought up Israel, I thought I'd ask about that instead. So I just kind of wanted to defend the sort of liberal position about the sort of charge that Democrats have become anti-Semitic, which is something that I think just is way overblown. The idea, like as myself, who's someone who's actually to the left of a lot of Democrats on Palestinian issues, is the fact that that I don't see how saying you don't support Israel's government, which is extremely right wing, which you guys probably like, but is just Israel's government, not the Israeli people, not the Jewish people, and not supporting a interest group like AIPAC is equivalent to anti-Semitism, when obviously we've seen horrible anti-Semitic violence perpetrated recently. So
Can you answer me why Ilhan Omar was not stripped of her committee assignment after blatant anti-Semitic remarks?
because she said nothing wrong.
I'm going to give you a position because I want you to really think carefully, because this video will be seen by millions of people and could result in the hampering of job opportunities. Do you actually think that Ilhan Omar said nothing wrong?
I do.
Saying that it's all about the Benjamins baby when referencing Jewish money being given to candidates
Well,
through
not
Jewish
Jewish
donors?
money, AIPAC money, which is an interest group that
is a Jewish group. So she said it's all about the Benjamins baby.
Well,
That's what she said, which is a slur that is commonly used. Don't roll your eyes, man. You're borderline anti-Semitic yourself, what you're saying here. You just rolled your eyes when I said that a Jewish slur exists out there when people say that wrongly, that Jews are just money-grubbing people. You rolled your eyes. So, yes, Ilhan Omar's an anti-Semite, and yes, she should be stripped of her committee assignments, right?
she supporting the Netanyahu cabinet is not the same thing as the nation of Israel. They are.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a question. Are you Jewish?
No, I'm not.
I'm not. I didn't mean to attack. I'm literally just asking if you were Jewish because I'm interested in. I'd like to know people's background and maybe why something didn't offend you that clearly a lot of Jewish people were up in arms about when she made that statement. So if that was just a question, I'm not at all trying to insult you or say anything wrong. I think this is maybe why this conversation is the reason there really is going to be a Jexodus, and why Jewish people are going to end up leaving the left, because the fact that people can't understand why it's offensive at all to people that not a single Democrat showed up to AIPAC, because you
Chuck
say
Schumer did.
Running for president. Not a single presidential
not a single
candidate.
presidential candidate showed up to AIPAC.
And
I mean, it's the equivalent of it's such an insult to the Jewish people that it seems weird to me that you don't see that there's anything wrong with
Can
it.
I ask a
Well,
question?
I'm sorry that this is a waste of my time and a waste of your time.
No, you're
It's
gonna be
not.
you're gonna
It's
be really
not.
famous after this, so it's fine. So you're 10 million people will know who you are in 48 hours or less. But can you tell me why 0 Democrats that held office attended the embassy move to Jerusalem that Candace and I were both
What
at?
about that? That's not. You can't say that's an interest group.
Democrats used to vote for that.
What, supporting moving the Israeli
Yeah.
No,
All
the
the
American
U.S. embassy to Jerusalem?
the capital of Israel, right?
Because I think that the determination of the Israeli capital should be something that should be settled in a Israeli-Palestinian bilateral negotiation for the creation of a Palestinian state, which is something that the Palestinian people should be able to have. They should be able to have freedom. They should.
So they do have freedom. What freedoms do the Palestinian people not have right now?
Well, I mean, currently,
Name one freedom. Have you been to the West Bank?
something they lack freedom of movement.
Sure they do. An Arab in the Palestinian Authority can travel to Israel, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, in and out with any sort of restriction. I've been to Judea and Samaria. I've been to Hebron. I've been to the Golan Heights. As a Christian, thankfully, I'm allowed in there. You know, all my Jewish tour guides and my IDF friends as Jews are not allowed in the West Bank. Why? So what freedom don't they have?
Well, you know.
No, I don't know. Can you name one freedom that the Palestinian people do not have?
I look.
Or is that just a talking point with no evidence?
Look, sophistry aside for both of us, just there's an imbalance here between between Israel and Palestine that the current Israeli government.
What imbalance? Can you build it out for me? Because you haven't been able to name a freedom they don't have. Did you know that the Israeli government gave up the Gaza Strip in pursuit of peace in 2006? And it was immediately taken over. 10,000 Jewish settlers left the Gaza Strip in pursuit of peace in 2006, and it was immediately taken over by the terrorist group Hamas, which is one of the richest parts of Israel. Israel gave it up voluntarily because they thought it would give them peace, and the PA didn't give it to them. So what freedoms does the PA not have?
Look, I mean, honestly,
this is really important because you come up here and say Ilhan Omar said nothing wrong. You make a factless, totally absent of evidence statement the Palestinian people don't have freedom. Say one thing, please. Defend yourself. So,
look, I came out here not completely prepared.
well, it's because it doesn't exist. So here's the thing. The talking point is factless. The Palestinian Authority exists as a governance structure over now what is truly Judea and Samaria, which has always been Israel. Do you know where the word Palestine comes from? You probably don't.
Arabia Palestiniana,
No,
which was the Roman
it was Philistine.
province.
It was Philistine, which is which is a Roman term, which only goes back about 1,400 years. Israel has always been the home of the Jews, dating back for 3,500 plus years. Israel is mentioned over 635 times in the Torah. Jerusalem has zero religious significance in the Quran at all to the Arab Muslim people, yet it's mentioned 637 times. Yet under Israeli control, the Arabs and the Muslims still get total and complete access to their holy sites. Yet where the Arabs control areas, the Jews are not allowed to visit there whatsoever. Why is that the Palestinian Authority pays the families of terrorists that kills Jews? They have a pay-for-slay policy. Thank God that President Trump just finally defunded it. I encourage you one thing. Don't believe the facts and the narrative that are just coming from the media, because you're just wrong here, and you obviously can't defend your position. Go and visit the West Bank yourself. You'll see the facts up and close, because you're incorrect.
Hey everybody, this is Charlie Kirk, founder and CEO of Turning Point USA. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Turning Point USA.